Welcome back to Views with Hughes and Jennifer News. This is Jerome Hughes, and today's top story: aftermath of Disney's shareholder video that's aimed at attacking Nelson Peltz and Perlmutter, as well as Rasulo. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So we've all heard about this, and I shared with this yesterday, reported on this yesterday as well, and analyzed the video. And unfortunately, it seems to me that Bob Iger still doesn't get it. You see, Nelson Peltz, he's taken like a lot of heat from Bob Iger, but he hasn't even been dishing any kind of insults or criticism at Bob Iger himself. Okay, so today woke Disney's out here clapping back at Trian Partners with their own statement, basically just brushing them off. And man, we got to talk about that. All right, so woke Disney dropped their response, and honestly, it feels like they threw it together at the last minute. Okay, so in other words, they're getting scared. All right, compared to Trian's detailed argument, which is a 130 to 133 page argument white page, where it says talked about how woke Disney's comeback lacks the same effort, where they're trying to say you don't get it, but without really explaining why or how. Okay, now they're basically trying to defend their creative decisions and business moves, okay? But it's actually kind of hard to take them seriously when it seems like they're just going through the motions, okay? It's like watching a live action remake of something that was already perfect, unnecessary, and impressive. Well, less impressive, actually. So now they're talking about a big game about understanding and restoring the magic, but who can you really say that you're actually doing that when you have all of these remakes and sequels? And where's the originality that made Disney, well, Disney? And now they're taking jabs at Trian, saying that they don't understand the creative business. But let's be honest, creativity has been hasn't been woke Disney's strong suit lately. It's actually more about recycling old hits from animated movies and stuff, and then recreating newer hits. Okay. So the whole thing is turned into a big bit of a spectacle, with woke Disney releasing papers and videos trying to prove their point, but the effort seems to be starting to fail. Okay, they're supposed to be focusing on defending their strategies rather than actually improving on the content and business practices. Okay, but in their defense, they also mentioned the plans for the parks and the streaming services. But again, it's not a lot to talk about with much substance. They're actually promising growth and innovation, yet it feels like we're getting more of the same, and quite honestly, Bob Iger and the board don't even have anything to put out there. All they're doing is just taking the IPs that we're familiar with, recreating them in live action with newer woke political viewpoints, and also now they're starting to get scared that their time of Disney control is over. All right. And also another thing to note, Bob Iger accused Nelson Peltz of, trying to get rid of him. But in reality, Nelson Peltz actually said that he wants Bob to stay along. But the thing is, he wants members of the board to be replaced. Okay. So the board, speaking of the board and the leadership, woke Disney's making a big deal about their board members and their plans for the future. But with all this talk of creativity and strategy, you'd expect to see some clear vision or direction instead. And instead we're just simply left with vague promises and plans that don't even address the core issues themselves. Okay, now the Walt Disney Company received a detailed white paper from Nelson Peltz, remember, criticizing their strategies and suggesting improvements. Okay, but Walt Disney's response has raised concerns about the future of the woke Disney parks, hinting at a potential lack of sufficient investment to keep the parks competitive. Now, Disney also plans to invest over $60 billion over the next 10 years, and that might seem substantial, but when you break down the numbers, the investment in the parks are just basically minimal. Okay, so this also raises doubts about their ability to maintain park relevancy, especially with the competitors like Universal Studios expanding aggressively. Now, the issue just isn't about the money being invested, it's also about how it's being spent. The focus seems to be on the Disney Vacation Club, or DVC, and hotels, rather than expanding park capacity or adding new attractions that can actually improve the guest experience. Okay, But one major point of contention is the destruction of pathway used by military families over 30 years, a move that symbolizes Disney's content prioritization of certain projects over the guest convenience and experience. So basically what it all boils down to, people, is that woke Disney needs to get back into its roots. Okay, it's not just about, you know, defending your turf or making strategic board moves. It's about creating content that resonates with people, stories that inspire and entertain without relying on nostalgia and past successes. And I'm only reporting on these things because of the simple fact that it's the people on the board, as well as the CEO, and are the ones who are responsible for approving the different kind of content we get put out there. Okay. And in order to do that, I got to provide you all the news updates, so that way you'll be prepared to anticipate what kind of movies and shows they're putting out there. Okay, so that way you can make the decision yourself if you want to see it or if you don't. Okay, so woke Disney's current situation in a nutshell basically is more than just a corporate spat. You know, it's a reflection of the different challenges facing one of the most beloved companies and brands in entertainment. But as fans and consumers, we can only hope that they find their way back to the magic that made us fall in love with Disney in the first place. All right, and I'm gonna be honest with you, Bob Iger's board is not the answer. Bob Iger's board is not the answer, because there's a lot of us out there, myself included, who wants Disney to go back to its old ways. Okay, get it back into simply entertaining rather than preaching politics. All right. And then we also saw, remember from that video where they also attacked Ike Perlmutter and Jay Rasulo. Okay, they called Jay Rasulo somebody who left the job and everything, and then couldn't get anything, couldn't be hired anymore. And then you also had them talk about Ike Perlmutter being someone who's problematic and destructive and all of that, also accusing him of having a grudge against Bob Iger. But in reality, Iger had a grudge against Ike Perlmutter. Okay, but the fact of the matter is that Nelson Peltz is actually gaining ground once again. He gave Bob Iger the chance to go ahead and turn the company around. Bob Iger did. He gave Bob Iger to create well-known content that can help the company make more money. Bob Iger didn't get that memo. Okay. He also, Nelson Peltz didn't actually see any progress in the company, but instead, him being a huge investor himself within the company, he's lost a lot of money. Okay. No wonder why he's so upset. No wonder why he's so mad and angry and everything. He enjoyed going to the parks. He enjoyed watching the Disney movies. But the problem is, you have a CEO like Bob Iger and everything looking to go ahead and change things and continue to change things around, making it worse. Okay, and then you also have Nelson Peltz, who is just simply looking to go ahead and use his funds and stuff to actually turn the company around. That's why he had Jay Rasulo, Ike Perlmutter, and a few others as nominees to go ahead and become members of the board. Okay. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Also, be sure to let me know where I went wrong in the video. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead, smash like, rate, share far wide across social media. If you haven't done so already, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification, so that way you'll be notified of future uploads and updates. Until then, peace.